Today we will be discussing about the abiotic components of the ecosystem. The non-living things in the environment are called its abiotic components. Abiotic components include air, water, soil, and climatic factors such as sunlight, temperature, humidity, and wind. The first abiotic component, air. All living organisms on Earth need air to live. We all know that green plants utilize carbon dioxide from the air to prepare food during photosynthesis. Oxygen is utilized by all living organisms during respiration. The nitrogen which is present in the air is converted into soluble nitrates by many microorganisms, and these nitrates are absorbed by the plants and utilized to produce protein. Okay, now the different gases in the air is balanced by different cycle, like carbon dioxide in the air is utilized by plants during photosynthesis. They give out oxygen. Now this oxygen is utilized by living organisms during respiration. Again, they give out carbon dioxide during this process. This carbon dioxide is again utilized by the plants. So this is how the balance of the different gases are maintained. Besides this, air also helps in regulating the temperature on the earth. It will absorb the excess solar heat and does not allow the earth's surface to get heated up. And also, it does not prevent excess heat to escape from the earth's surface so that the temperature does not come down. So, this is how air plays an important role in the ecosystem. The next abiotic component is water. Water is extremely important for all living organisms. All metabolic activities such as digestion, excretion, circulation occur with water as the medium. Green plants also need water to prepare food. Water is also the main constituent of all living organisms. The human body consists of 60 to 70% of water by weight. The amount of water and rainfall in a region affects the kind of plants and animals found there. For example, desert regions where there is scarcity of water have less vegetation, whereas the Western Ghats and Assam that receive heavy rainfall have dense evergreen forests. Water in rivers, lakes, ponds, and oceans is also home to many living organisms. The third abiotic component is soil. Soil is the topmost layer of the Earth's crust. All life on Earth depends on the soil because it provides a medium for the growth of plants. Plants growing on land get water and minerals from the soil. Soil is also home to a variety of living organisms such as bacteria, fungi, worms, and insects. These organisms keep adding minerals and nutrients to the soil and enrich it. Sunlight is also an important abiotic factor. The sun is the primary source of light and energy on Earth. It affects plants and animal activities in a number of ways. For example, green plants make food in the presence of sunlight. Light influences the closing and opening of stomata, germination of seeds, etc. The amount of sunlight in a particular area has a direct influence on the type of plants and animals found there. Besides this, the intensity of light also influences the behavior of animals. Most of the animals that we see around us are active during the day as they can tolerate bright light. They are called diurnal animals. However, there are some animals such as earthworm, cockroach, owl, fox that cannot stand intense light. Such animals are active at night and are called nocturnal animals. Temperature. Living organisms can generally survive temperatures between 0 and 50 degrees Celsius. The distribution of plants and animals over the earth depends on temperature. The tropical region that has temperature exceeding 18 degrees supports a large variety of plants and animals. Regions with extreme climates show lesser variety of organisms, though they show specific adaptations to suit their climate. So you'll find more animals in the tropical regions than in areas where you find extreme type of temperature. The next component is humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the air. Water vapor is the gaseous state of water. Humidity is affected by wind and rainfall. Humidity affects the temperature in an area. High humidity reduces the rate of evaporation, transpiration of water. Wind. The movement of air is called wind. Wind helps in the pollination of flowers and dispersal of seeds and fruits. Pulses and grains dry up faster when there is wind. Evaporation is faster when there is wind. Wind also helps in dispersing pollution. When smoke and other pollutants are not dispersed due to the lack of wind, they form smog in the atmosphere. Wind also plays an important role in the distribution of rainfall over a region. Human activities have a great impact on the environment. We do not live in the same natural environment that existed a few decades or centuries ago. This is because human beings have modified it to suit their needs. New inventions have made life more comfortable, but at the same time, they have affected the environment negatively. The influence of human activities on the environment is known as the cultural component. Plants and animals are dependent on each other. Dependence of animals on plants. Herbivores feed on plants for food. Animals such as squirrels, birds make their homes in the holes of trees. Birds use different materials from the plants to build their nest. Animals such as ants, beetles, birds, monkeys live on trees. Animals also use oxygen given out by plants during respiration. Now, dependence of plants on animals. Plants depend on animals for pollination and for the dispersal of seeds. The excreta of animals provides nourishment to the plants, and the carbon dioxide released by animals during respiration is used by plants to make food. Based on the relationship between organisms in an ecosystem, there are three important terms. The first term is symbiosis. Symbiosis means living together. It is a mutual understanding between two organisms. Both the organisms live together and benefit from each other. For example, see the picture on the screen. You must have seen this growing on trees, on rocks. These are known as lichens. Lichen is actually a symbiotic relationship between an algae and a fungus. So two types of plants are growing together. So the algae and fungus they grow together. The fungus absorbs water and minerals from the substratum that it is growing on, and the algae, since it contains chlorophyll, manufactures food. Okay, so this is how they support each other. So the food prepared by the algae is also utilized by the fungus. So when there is a mutual understanding or relationship between two plants, or the mutual relationship between two organisms where both the organisms benefit from each other is known as symbiosis. The next type of relationship or the next term is parasitism. In this type of relationship, one organism known as the parasite lives on another organism known as host. Here, only the parasite benefits. It takes away all the nutrients, or it absorbs all the nutrients from the host. Okay, so only the parasite benefits. Whereas in the symbiotic relationship, both the organisms were benefiting from each other. But in parasitism, only the parasite benefits. It absorbs all the nutrients from the host. There are two types of parasites, endoparasites and ectoparasites. If the parasite lives inside the body of an organism, it is known as endoparasite, like tapeworm. And if the parasite lives outside the body of the host, it is called an ectoparasite, for example, tick, lice, etc. The next type of interaction between two organisms is known as predation, where one organism captures and eats another organism. The organism which captures is known as the predator, and the organism which is eaten is known as the prey. So, this type of relationship where one organism captures and eats another organism is known as predation. Ecosystems are broadly divided into two types: natural ecosystem and man made ecosystem. Natural ecosystems are ecosystem which is already present in nature. For example, terrestrial, desert, grassland, forest, pond, river, sea, lakes are all natural ecosystem. Artificial or man-made ecosystem, that means ecosystem which is made by human beings. Example, garden, park, aquarium, dam, artificial wetlands, zoo are all examples of artificial man-made ecosystems. With this, we come to an end of the chapter. Thank you, everyone. I hope you all understood what was explained.